Welcome to a Delco Nerd Network podcast. I'm your host, Anthony Ragucci, and here with a certain individual, a few friends maybe, but in this case just one. We get a base we talk about a certain topic. Today's topic is going to be PlayStation versus Xbox. The beginning and end of a generation. I think that's what I'm calling it. That's very fucking dramatic. Here to discuss, as always, the triple threat himself, Christopher Pasquale Trio.
Gooch, how are you?
What's up?
Not much. That was a good lead-in. I thought it was
That's the first time I full named you.
Yeah, I think so. I've never had anyone use my full three names. I think I might just go by C. Pasquale now from now on.
Nah,
to be honest,
I think it's weird.
No, I know I'm too committed to Trio. I mean,
Pasquale's
there's
a
no
very
going back.
that's a middle name. Like
yeah,
that is a middle name.
I don't know. I might if I end up having kids. I think I might name my kid Pasquale. No, it's Italian. Italian.
Is it?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, Pasquale.
Hey.
I think that's hey. Yeah, probably am. But yeah. So, what are we here today for, Gooch?
We're gonna be talking about the end. So there's a little bit of a lot.
Yeah.
A little bit of a lot. So what we're gonna be doing, we'll talk about what we're doing before we go in. But just to kind of give an introduction to the podcast. So we're gonna be talking about sort of PS4, Xbox One generation, the good, the bad, the ugly kind of thing. We did it a while ago. I think maybe a year or two into the generation.
I was gonna say, yeah.
So we're that. This is a kind of like a continuation.
Bit of a wrap up.
That podcast, which we did with I think just Tim back in the day.
Yeah.
I wish my screen wouldn't
shout out
off.
to Tim.
Yeah, shout out to Tim, friend of the show. Hasn't been on in a while, but
yeah.
We'll get him back on at some point. Anyway, yeah, so it's going to be like that. We're going to talk about the good, the bad, the ugly of this current gen. Then we're going to be talking about all the news that has dropped for next generation PlayStation 5's Xbox Series S and X. The good, the bad, and the ugly. Is it worth it? We'll go over it all.
Yeah.
But before we jump in, we like to shoot the shit a little tiny bit, just a smidge.
Just a smidgen of shit.
We kind of did that the whole podcast last month.
Yeah.
If you guys didn't see the history of us DNN crossover with Gian and Clint, you guys can check that out on youtube.com/Delco Network as well as podcast apps.
That one was a lot of fun. Really, just kind of bullshit episode. Had a great time. Great time talking with those guys.
Yeah, sometimes it's nice to go from these this is a pretty structured podcast.
Yeah,
all right. There's no structure.
We're just talking about whatever the fuck we feel like.
Right.
Yeah. But no, that was fun. What have you been up to, Gooch? What have you been playing, reading, doing, watching?
Reading Injustice.
Nice.
I'm on year 5. Just got it. I'm looking forward to finishing that and finally moving over into the Injustice 2 comic books.
What? So you were explaining this to me in the group chat, but how do those work? So all of the year 1, year 0 through 5 is before the
year
game?
0 is a prequel that actually just came out.
Okay.
Year 1 through 5 are before Injustice 1.
Okay.
And then Injustice 1 takes place, Injustice Gods Among Us. And then I'm not sure how it works for the Injustice 2 comic books, because I don't think it takes the same year structure.
Yeah.
I kind of like that a lot. You're like, oh, Injustice, this is year 1, year 2, year 3, year
I do
4,
too.
year 5.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just
easy to comprehend.
The flow is kind of easy, but I think
agree.
Injustice 2 kind of just follows the volume system, and I'm not sure where the game. I'm pretty sure they're before the game.
I think so. I think you're right.
Right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, no, those are good series. Really good.
I've been playing a lot of shit, honestly. Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles, which I beat. What else? Fucking Avengers. You can check out our podcast on that, our hot take, what our thoughts are. We both have been playing that. New Borderlands DLC, new Apex Pass, some Gears 5. I'm playing a little bit.
Sprinkling all over.
I'm back into Guild Wars 2 again. Yeah, I've been playing a lot of different shit. Because I guess the next game is probably that Star Wars flight game, but
oh yeah. Are you gonna get it?
I think so.
You think you are? Oh,
yeah,
wow.
yeah. I feel like I forgot about it.
No, I mean it's only $40 too. So
yeah,
I'm really excited for that. Is that really the next game that comes out?
Yeah, it's October, right?
Wow. Yeah, I guess you're right. I thought there was something in between now for some reason, but maybe I'm probably wrong.
I don't think so.
But yeah, I'm actually really excited for that. Anything else? Just basically
The Boys, of course.
Yeah.
Finished Superman the Animated Series last night. Beyond is next. So I would originally do it Justice League Unlimited, then Beyond, because that's how it works in chronological order. But apparently, Beyond came out before Justice League Unlimited.
Yeah, it did.
So,
there's a Batman Beyond episode in Justice League though, like it's with Terry McGinnis.
What? Yeah, there's a Justice League in that time period, but
no. But I thought I might be getting them. There's one episode, I don't know if it's in Justice League or Justice League Unlimited, where you see Terry McGinnis and it's explained to him that Bruce Wayne is his father.
I thought that was Return of the Joker.
No.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, there's it's a Justice League episode of some kind. I know that for a fact.
Yeah, Terry McGinnis looks fucking like
he's I think he's supposed to be like 30 years.
Yeah,
he's
like,
supposed to be a lot older.
Like, what happened to Terry?
And like Amanda Wallace like explains to him what happened. Yeah.
He said Wallace.
Did I say Wallace? I thought I said Wallace. But yeah, no, that's a good one.
So Superman was really good. I was like actually really surprised. I was like, okay, like Batman's the gold star right here.
For
the
sure.
animated series is really well known. I'm like, okay, like how does
that
Superman
came out before Superman, right? The animated series. Yeah.
So it goes Batman, Superman, Beyond, Justice League, and then I guess the Green Lantern one.
Interessante. Yeah, that Green Lantern one was
and
like
Zeta Project and like these other weird shows that like didn't Static Shock.
Mm-hmm. Green Lantern animated series was really cool. I like that show a lot. It was very different too because they did the 3D animation, and so the
I don't know if I'm gonna watch it. Yeah. I don't even know if I'm gonna watch Zeta Project. Definitely not watching Static Shock.
Give Green Lantern one episode. Just see what you think.
Well, here's the thing with me. You know how I work.
Yeah, that's right. You started. You don't see it.
I fucking finish what I start.
That's fair.
I finish what I fucking start.
Finish what's on your plate. Yeah, no, those are good. Those are really good shows. It's cool. So are all of them moving over to HBO Max now?
I don't know.
Because that's what they said.
I don't know.
They better. Because that's gonna be fucked.
Dude, I'm
just
like.
Because they said they're just turning it into a comics-based thing now, right?
Right. So that's what I'm like. That's really what I watch. I like DCU for. That's where I've been watching all these shows. Yeah. And I mean, the Superman the Animated Series wasn't like in like 1080p quality. It was probably like something between 480.
Yeah, because that wasn't remastered, right? Like Batman was.
I think Beyond is remastered though. But I'm just like, fuck. I was like, I hope I don't get cut off, man.
Yeah, that blows.
Because
I feel like from what I was reading in that article that you sent, it seemed like they were putting every video thing over onto there.
Right, but it's just like animated is still a weird territory.
Yeah, that's true.
But I just couldn't see them fucking me over like that. You know, Jeff Johns is like, fuck Gooch, fuck.
Right, he writes on the memo.
Fuck everything else. Fuck Stargirl. Fuck all that shit.
But yeah, that's good. That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, I feel like I've had my hands full with games and shit. Like stuff I haven't gotten to, like Control DLC I haven't gotten to yet. I'm trying to like move things along in a way that like I'm like I want to get a lot done before next gen.
No, that makes sense. Especially with
trophies. With Xbox, it doesn't matter because I get to play all of it.
Yeah.
But PlayStation 4, I'm like my PlayStation 4 is probably gonna still, There's an article saying like, okay, all these games are backwards compatible, but I'm like,
isn't it? So it's all PS Plus though?
I don't know, man.
They really do.
We're gonna talk about it,
but
we'll talk about it. But like, there was an article: 99% of PS4 games will be playable on PS5, and it's like,
I saw that.
What? Like, why are we not talking about that?
Yeah, like that should have been like a point where
like that's a console selling point. Like Xbox is all over it.
No, but I do think Xbox. It has to be all over it more because they don't have as the game library that PlayStation has. But even still, they've done a great You know what? We're getting ahead of ourselves here on that. But
I was gonna let you talk. But
yeah,
okay.
It's just Xbox does the consumer stuff way better for sure. I think they had that misstep with the Xbox the beginning of this generation.
DRM stuff,
but yeah.
So what have you been up to?
I've been playing Avengers. Obviously, been watching The Boys. That's been a bit of a letdown this season so far to me, which kind of sucks. Yeah, like
Why?
It feels like they.
It's good. It's all right.
So what I really liked about the first season of The Boys was that all the hero the superheroes were looked at as the Justice League by the general public. Like everyone thought like Homelander was Superman and like these superheroes can't do wrong. But now I feel like they're kind of there's too much going on between the Compound V stuff and then Homelander getting fucking up and like I don't know. I think they're trying to throw too many things against the wall right now and not really focusing. And that last episode I just felt like a lot of filler too, which I don't think is great considering you have only an 8-episode season. Like I don't want to see a filler episode in a season that small. It's still fun.
How many episodes?
I think 8. So we're
really?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. So we only got 3 more episodes. So I hope in these last 3 episodes they kind of pull it in a bit more. But that's been all right. I've been replaying Dishonored because I have 2 trophies left in it that I've just like.
What are
they? It's to beat it without magic and to get all the Dunwall or to get all the souvenirs for the Dreadful Whale. Which
the souvenir part is stupid.
It's so easy, but
it's stupid. They're very missable.
Oh, they're so well. The one I never went to Corvo's apartment before this playthrough. Where you get like there's like a trophy in the wall that you have to get. It's one of the souvenirs. Yeah. And like, but I gotta say, like, not having magic in that game really makes it play. Oh, I was gonna say I've been having a lot of fun.
Really?
Yeah. Like I don't like.
You're very limited.
No, you are. Like it's definitely, but I don't think they like you can still get all the souvenirs. Like you can still traverse a lot. Like they give you a lot of ledges to climb and a lot of things to like actually get around with. But I definitely wouldn't want to play that way when I'm trying to get like a lot more things. But I think it's been fun to just kind of go through and just fuck around with no magic and like just kill whoever and. It makes the gameplay a lot differently. I really do. That is one of my favorite games of all time. I really kind of forget about it. But I've been reading Dune because I've just been bored and
like reading. Not
so I saw the trailer and I was like, you know what? I saw the original and I've been like, I really kind of want to see what's going on here because it seems interesting. So I bought the book off Amazon. And I'm a bit in and I'm actually really enjoying it. Really different sci-fi, like compared to like your Star Wars and even your Star Trek and all that stuff.
I feel like asking you to get into it right now is probably not the greatest idea because it sounds complicated.
It's pretty complicated, but like base level, like it's not like a separate universe like Star Wars is or anything like that. It's more along the lines of like this is our really far-flung future, and there's like a lot of mysticism going on, and there's like the Emperor of the Galaxy, but he doesn't control the Spacers Guild, who controls
the Spacers Guild, of course.
The Spacers Guild controls all of like space travel in the known universe, and like. There's some really cool ideas going on. I definitely would recommend it. And I think if they do the movie well,
the movie looks
be
cool.
It does. I think that trailer looks awesome.
I don't really like Timothy Chalamet. I think he's kind of a douche.
I agree.
But I was like, all right, he looks kind of good.
It was funny. I was talking with Meredith about this, and I was like, yeah, I don't know what. She's like, why don't you like
just
Chalamet? I'm like, just look at how he's like
him.
Squirrely and like
it looks like a squirrely fucking punk.
Okay.
He really
does.
Give
him the chance. We'll see how it goes. I'm interested to see how he does.
I think I took a picture of him at the Oscars last year, and I like put it on my story, and like just the way he like looked, and I was like, "This is the kind of guy who forgets the condom and then forgets to pull out."
Sorry, and then he just walks out.
Yeah,
it's funny because I don't know. He could be the nicest guy in the world, and I don't even know. But it's the attention for some reason that I don't appreciate.
He goes by Timothy, and it's spelled Thee. Pretentious.
Piece of shit. Forget, you know what, he's done. I'm not seeing Dune.
Timothy Chalamet.
But I'm trying to think, what else have I been playing? I think that's basically been it.
Yeah.
I mean, Dune, I gotta definitely say, so far I'd really recommend that. It's a lot of fun. There was one other thing I was playing on Xbox. I mean, obviously Red Dead.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's really kind of it. But I've also been watching some press conferences about a certain
You're kind
next generation.
You're kind of jumping the gun a little bit.
That's true. But besides that,
so let's get into it. Xbox One, PlayStation 4, the good, the bad, the ugly. Let's start with the games, and of course, the ugly with the Xbox One exclusives. Because, boy,
how many were there? Like 5?
Let me list off the ones that I think are worth your time. Halo Master Chief Collection, Halo 5 Guardians, Gears 4 and 5.
4 I wouldn't recommend personally.
That is it.
That's what I thought. Like that's 4. Like
I have a longer list. Like Quantum Break, Sunset Overdrive, Sea of Thieves, State of Decay 1 and 2, Ori and the Blind Forest, and Will of the Wisp. Forza, Killer Instinct, Titanfall 1 was exclusive. Halo Wars 2. Like Xbox One just didn't have the games. It's a fucking known fact. Like I don't want to sit here and like talk about it that much. We all know Xbox One did not have good exclusives.
No, it really didn't.
It really just didn't.
Now read off the PlayStation 4 exclusives, please. Just
Spider-Man.
Okay.
God of War.
All right.
Ghost of Tsushima. Uncharted 4.
Ooh.
Last of Us Part 2. Detroit Become Human.
Okay.
Lost Legacy for Uncharted.
Yeah.
Uncharted Collection.
Okay.
Final Fantasy VII Remake.
More your
Game
bag.
of the Year this year. Horizon Zero Dawn.
All right.
Ratchet and Clank.
All right.
Bloodborne.
Okay.
Sekiro.
All right.
Every one of those games is like a very good
game.
Yeah.
Like,
it's kind of like,
it's
kind of just like, Jesus Christ.
And like, so the only, what were the 4 Xbox ones that you listed? Gears 5, Gears 4,
Halo Master Chief Collection.
and Halo 5.
Yeah.
And honestly, the only one I'd be like in that collection to say like you should really play this is maybe Halo Master Chief Collection, and that's a collection.
And
of
Halo 5
old games.
on a multiplayer level.
Sure, multiplayer campaign on that.
One
though.
thing which I'll bring up later. Xbox really has a multiplayer presence that Sony just doesn't have, period, and I don't think people talk about it enough. Halo 5 is like one of the most polished, tight first-person shooters experiences I had last generation and overall
and still holds
ever.
up.
It's a fucking great game, and I think Halo Infinite is just going to be that and better, and like, you know, it got delayed, we'll talk about it. Yep. Let's talk about the controllers, because this is kind of weird. You think, why are we going to talk about controllers this generation? Well, there's a reason why. Xbox, I think, is really doing a good job with their Design Labs program. They're not only offering a lot of like cool different controller designs, limited editions like that, but guess what? For the first time ever, because this is something everyone wants to do, you can personalize and customize your own controller.
I think that's
and
cool.
Sony has nothing like that.
Yeah, I think that's a cool little leg up.
Right.
But I'm not happy with my Design Lab controller, so that's why I'm kind of a little bit
Your
about
Green Lantern one?
Yeah, it's like the one button sticks, and then also my right stick is like continually dragging.
See,
and like,
both of them might have been great. My first one,
that's the only thing
it
that
was
makes me
running
sad.
to the ground. It's just worn down.
Like, I would love to get another one, but like after getting like one that wasn't that great, I'm kind of like, do I want to spend the money? And I'm just gonna wait, obviously,
Dude,
for Xbox.
they make
whatever.
for great gifts, by the way.
No, they are. They're cool, and it's like it's that cool like customizable experience.
Right.
But
like,
I gotta say, just on a base level of how the controllers feel, the jump that Sony made with the fucking DualShock 3 to the DualShock 4 was night and day. Because playing with that,
I still think the Xbox controller is better.
Oh, I think so too. But I think the PlayStation 4 controller like made a leap that is insane. Like the DualShock 3
from Xbox 360 to One, there was a difference.
But it was
already a good controller.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Whereas like PlayStation 3, I felt like I was gonna snap that controller in half in my hand. Like they felt like toys. They really did.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And the other thing is like, hey, Xbox has an Elite controller, which is like, you know, if you're
like a name brand,
if you want
to
macro, you're right,
yeah.
And if you want to like macro your controls, change your buttons around, you got paddles on the back, buttons on the back, whatever.
All the buttons you'll ever need.
You can raise the joysticks. Like, I think Xbox is like, okay, like we are making. Not even that. I was gonna say accessible, but also accessible in the way of like they have that. I forget what it's called, but there's an accessibility controller for folks with disabilities, and like Sony is doing none of this.
Yeah,
stuff.
no, that stuff. That's
It's
like
almost
a really
like
cool
what the fuck is Sony doing? Like in the
again, I
controller
think they
department?
get like
they just don't seem to care.
I think Sony does, and this happened.
That's gonna be a theme. Me telling you Sony doesn't care.
And I also think Xbox suffered from this a little bit too at the beginning of this generation of like they're on their high horse. They feel like they're always going to make the money because they do put out a good product to an extent, and I really
do put out good games, and that's
like
how they're making
that
their
is
money.
the whereas like I know I'm gonna like I get games like God of War, like Spider-Man, these ones that are truly insanely cool experiences that I cannot play on Xbox, but their interface isn't that amazing. The controllers customization isn't there as much. Like these more consumer focused things, they don't seem to care as much about. It felt like in that era because they did sell fucking Bang Busters or whatever the fucking
20 million copies
like,
of Bloodborne, like whatever you want.
I mean, how much? And I mean, they still the amount of PS4s they've sold is like nuts.
Right.
Like it's crazy.
Yeah.
So to be honest, I don't. It doesn't really surprise me that they're not too focused on this, but it does make me sad, especially like when you see something like that controller for people with disabilities and things like that. They are really cool things that really make a difference for like the players that you're.
Right, I just think they're out there and they care about the individual rather than the mass. Like I think it just shows in everything they do, and like we'll talk more on it as we go. Let's talk about the consoles. For the Xbox One, we kind of had the launch console, then we had the One S, the One X, and then for the PlayStation, we just have the normal, the slim, the normal meaning the launch PlayStation, the
which
slim, and the Pro, which I have. I think Xbox is better only because the One X is actually like a pretty like significant 4K gaming machine, and the PlayStation Pro is not.
Yeah, I mean, just getting basically I can't speak to that.
And also, Xbox One has a 4K Blu-ray player, which
PlayStation the Slims don't have.
Yeah, it's just like
well, does the Pro have it? I think the Pro has one, right?
That's a good question.
I don't know.
I know the launch did.
I do not like the look of the original launch Xbox One. It's a fucking VCR.
You
Yeah,
like
and
that?
I still have the VCR too. And like obviously they did a great job in slimming it down with the Xbox One S, and I really like the look of that. But I still think one of my favorite visuals of a console is the PlayStation 4. Like I love the way that
the
box
Pro has
looked.
a 4K player.
I thought so. But just aesthetics wise, that definitely won that for me. And it was funny because I do remember I was watching I remember watching E3 2012 when this was happening, and Xbox just came out and just shit the bed. And I'm like, what is happening here? What is it? It's gonna be $500. The Kinect's always enabled. Blah, blah. Like fuck. And then I'm watching PlayStation, and they did do the dig where they're like, this is how you share games on PlayStation, and then they just hand the disc to the other person. But they really did make some missteps that put Sony leagues ahead, and I'm curious to see how they can kind of rebound here. But I mean, Microsoft has even said they're more focused on software now.
I mean,
versus
hardware.
hardware.
PlayStation is more traditional with their generation, as Xbox is like, okay, like this is an ecosystem, and like the jump from the to the One to the Series X and S are like not really it's a generational jump, but they're not treating it as like a generation. They're still supporting your Xbox Series X, your Xbox One X and your Xbox One S.
One thing I gotta give to this generation is I've been able to play every single game on my launch PlayStation. It sounds like a jet engine, but I've been able to play.
My Pro sounds like a jet engine,
which is nuts. Like that seems like that shouldn't be the case,
right? Like I think like occasionally the Xbox One will run loud when a game first starts, and it's fine. That PlayStation. The whole time, like it's fucking loud.
It is.
Like I think like somebody asked me, it's like, is it supposed to run like that? And I'm like, yeah,
that's what it's just what it's doing.
It's not your PlayStation. It's just all of them.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Another thing I think want to talk about is the dashboard / home. Whereas the Xbox, since the beginning of the Xbox One, the dashboard has been changing, evolving, whether it's the good for the good or the bad. But I have to give it to them that they're constantly iterating on the dashboard.
Yeah,
and I like it.
I like the newest update a lot, for sure.
Yeah.
I really do.
And we got one literally like last week.
I don't think I have that one yet, but even the one before that one.
It's very similar.
Yeah,
There's a few things differently, and the store actually changes a bunch. But I'm in the preview program, so I kind of get
maybe I
before
did. Maybe I am on that one then, because the store looks pretty, like it has like the different menu styles now and things like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like PlayStation's is kind of okay. Like
it's very PlayStation's home. It's it's been the same.
Yeah.
It's very bare bones. It's simple. I think it's easy to get, but that store, man, holy shit, that store is not structured well at all. It's so goofy to like try to find things like the fucking scroll letters. Like why do we need that? Why do we need that?
One thing I'm really hoping with this next generation is that we're able to that they're going to allow third-party Bluetooth, like and things like that, so I can use like different plugins and like maybe I guess you can Xbox. I love the Xbox app. How I can fucking connect to my Xbox with my phone and use it as a controller and like use it. The only thing that's annoying on it is that it doesn't come with like a keyboard option for when you're typing things in, which I don't really get why. But I again, Xbox I think does worry about those things a little bit more because I think they didn't have the software to sell it. So and I got to give them props for focusing on that when they can. Or yeah, I don't know. I guess I don't really begrudge Sony for not really updating something that kind of works when it comes to like their. I think their store
only reason
could
I
definitely
begrudge them is because we're in the age where like updating things is kind of the norm.
Sure.
Like I just don't understand. Like, well, like what do you like? Not that what are you doing, but like. Why,
what's the plan?
Why not?
Like, why not try and make it a little smoother?
Like your home isn't your home isn't perfect. So like I don't really see why not. We haven't seen like I imagine the Xbox Series X dashboard is gonna look pretty different.
You remember the Xbox 360 dashboard?
Yeah.
The blades.
That's the original dashboard.
Yeah, the original.
Yeah, but like even from Xbox 360, like they've always been updating the dashboard. Always. Like it's remember when we had the little parties and then like if you had like the Fallout 3 theme, like everyone was on like a Fallout 3 like stage.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's come far, but with PlayStation it's like okay.
This is what we got.
Yeah, this is it. This has been it. Like
want to play your games? Go ahead.
Right.
Yeah.
like I said before, Xbox and PlayStation are just kind of like taking like two totally different paths, and you kind of see that with Game Pass and how Xbox is just like quadrupled downing on Game Pass and how good of a deal it is and like what games you can play. And I don't think they're wrong for doing that. I think everyone recognizes Game Pass is like this insanely superior product, and they're only going to carry that over with next gen. And like, hey, guess what? Next gen, you can do this. You can play the same games you're playing now. Next generation.
Yeah.
And that's no question about it. No question about it.
And it is awesome to know. Like, that's what I'm going to get a Series X because I want to be able to put in my Xbox One discs. Because, like, I know they'll allow me to for the most part, probably. Like, Xbox. Whereas, like, PlayStation, I'm not too concerned about getting a disc PlayStation 5 because I'm not too sure they're just going to let me pop in my PlayStation 4 games and just play it. And I don't know.
Like, apparently they've, like, we'll talk about it in a sec, but, I can talk about it now. But like PlayStation's doing that collection thing where like it's through like PlayStation Plus, and you get access to, you can play like, I don't know, like basically they're all their hits. And it's just kind of like,
well,
what?
Can I not play them if I already own them? Like, it's like,
well, they're free on PlayStation 5. That's what this is. But it's just like, I already have them. And why aren't they just backwards compatible?
Yeah, like
already?
Why can't I just put my disc in the fucking?
I just don't get it. And like, you know, they're making this claim. It's okay. Oh, well, you can play tons of PS4 games on your PS5. I'm like, okay, but like, why aren't you guys talking about that? Like that matters. Or like, what about my digital library?
Yeah,
what
like,
about that? Like what's
they're
going on?
They're not very good at messaging. And I mean, yeah.
Right. And I think like to go right off of that, I mean, we're kind of getting out of last gen and going into this coming generation, but like PlayStation's 5 pre-orders, and I like was a fucking mess. Yeah. And like Sony has every right to be accountable, especially this year, with messaging and being honest and being open and being like, okay, this is what we're doing. Like it's crystal clear. You guys know. From the, you know, Jeff Keighley sat down with their CMO and was like, and he was like, hey, like you're gonna know the pre-order date a few weeks ahead of time. It's not just gonna happen. Like that's not what we're doing. And they had their PlayStation event. We got the price. No date for pre-order. Then we get the pre-order date confirmed by Jeff Keighley and then confirmed in a tweet from PlayStation like 30 minutes later. Like what the fuck are you guys doing?
Didn't Walmart really fuck up though too?
Right. Okay, and then okay. The pre-order date is going to be Thursday. So it is kind of quick. It's not instant, but like, okay, like Thursday, it's right, fucking tomorrow. Yeah. Like, all right, okay. And then Walmart is like, nah, fuck it. Like, we're just going to release pre-orders. And then the domino effect happens. And all the retailers, pretty much besides Amazon, I mean, probably not all of them, but like the big ones, Target, Best Buy, like their pre-orders just started releasing and everyone was just freaking the fuck out because that's not what Sony said. And like, you kind of said the next day, like, Gooch, your hate for Sony right now. And it's like, it's not even
more. It's not that I get that. It's more just the viscerality. Like, I get it.
Dude, but like they lied. They straight up lied.
And I agree, and I was pissed too because like I'm like right now I'm like I think I'm gonna get the PlayStation 5 at launch, and I was thinking that too, but like I woke up the next day and you were like, yeah, I got my PlayStation, they're all gone. I'm like, what? Like, are you guys fucking kidding me?
So Penza like sent me the pre-order link for Amazon. I got on Amazon, and I'm like, I'm done. I like 11:30 at night, so they were closer to that Thursday release, but like, and sorry, they apologized for it, and it was just like, yeah, you guys really fucked up. And like that's you know, everyone's home, not everyone is gonna buy next gen, but like a lot of people are watching this, especially now.
And then all the fucking bots too and stuff, just sweeping them up immediately as they released another one and it sold out in like a minute, not even.
It's just like you know, and then Xbox is like, guess what? Here's the time and the date, and like this is when you're going to be able to pre-order your Xbox. And they've been honest and upfront about their messaging, but like Sony is still like under this.
They're inconsistent.
You know, they're under this like corporate guise, and they're not like cracking from the suit mentality, and like they're back. Like I keep saying, like Sony's back to this like elitist position where
they feel like they got the high ground.
They think they're very above everything else and everyone else and you. Like their games sell like hotcakes and they fucking know it. And like their press conferences was pretty much, here's my big black dick, and they flop it on the fucking table and they're jerking it off the whole like, yes, fucking please, time.
Thank you.
And it's just and like then the climax, you know, like that was their press conference in my opinion. I wanted to hear about the console, not about the games. Like, I really don't care. Like, we got some cool announcements. Final Fantasy 16, that's awesome. Demon's Souls is a launch title.
God of War,
we didn't need that. I want to hear about the PlayStation 5, which
it should have been all about, like, all right, this is when we're releasing, this is when you can get your fucking pre-order.
It should have been 20 minutes, and it should have just been about a console, in and out.
Yeah.
I don't think I needed to hear about the games. Like, I was hyped, don't get me wrong.
Of course, yeah, there were some really cool
But
videos.
it's just like, okay, like it's fucking end of September, almost, you know.
Yeah, and they're supposed to release. Did we have a release date even before that?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think
so. And they're coming out the same fucking week, and then we kind of jumped the gun a little bit, but this is the mentality like Sony has gotten in since they've had all these great hit games. They used to be all, like they're always been for the games, about the games, and greatness is here. Like that's their thing. But they just seem to like look at Xbox. Look at Xbox and the way they handled the Series S leak. They tweeted that monkey meme when he's like side-eyeing. Like that's how they handled it. And then they just released the information. Like I can't ask for like, okay, like they're clear, like, oh, like pat on the back for them. Because they just handled it really well. Like they weren't awkward about it. It's like, all right, here you go. Whatever.
Yeah, this is it.
No skin off our backs. Really. Like they don't need to, and they announced it in a tweet and everything was clear. Like I have the specs here, which we'll talk about in a sec. But like, yeah, like look at Phil Spencer. Phil Spencer is like the vice president of Xbox.
Yeah.
And he is a fucking not a suit in the slightest.
Oh,
he's down. He's at your level. He's telling you about the games. Yeah. He knows you care. He cares. Major Nelson cares. They care. And now Sony is kind of.
Nelson is still. That's funny. I forgot about it.
I'm on a fucking rant right now. And now Sony, Sean Layden's gone. Andy House is gone. Mark Cerny's still fucking there because he's the smartest person ever. But like, Gio Corsi, who was a part of the Vita team, like all those faces that you knew are gone. Sean Layden, we don't even know what fucking happened to him.
Why? What, did he just leave?
They tweeted he left, and they didn't even release a press conference.
Maybe he did just.
And Sean Layden's a big fucking name. Like, what happened to these guys? Like, why a change of the guard?
Yeah.
Like, what was going wrong?
Yeah, and it's like, or not, and it's not even necessarily. Yeah. It's like,
and then Jim Ryan is a fucking suit and a half, and he's telling us about, like, do you really care, Jim Ryan, or do you just want to make money?
Yeah.
I
don't know, man.
I know Phil Spencer cares about me. Like, he calls me every day.
He calls you, Gooch, how are you? How you doing today?
But like that is my gripe this generation. That is where we are. I feel like PlayStation I feel like Xbox cares about us, the gamers, the ecosystem. Wants us in that ecosystem. Yeah. They don't have the games, and they know it, but they still have something to offer.
Unfortunately, I think the games are the money.
I know
that people want to be the money. As they say, show me the money, and the money in this case are the games.
So let's jump in. Let's talk about next generation. I feel like I'm not letting you talk a lot.
No, it's all right. PlayStation, I just want to say to finish off the last generation.
Yeah.
PlayStation won that one for me, personally.
It won.
Yeah.
We don't need it.
But again,
we don't
I
even
think that just shows you how much the games
the games do matter, and
really do.
And I don't want it to come off across that I don't think games matter, but I think gaming systems are more about just games nowadays. And that may be a hot take statement, and I think it kind of is. I don't think consoles are like they're much more, and that's where
to a degree.
Go back to the beginning of Xbox One generation. Xbox had it right. And Xbox One is an all-in-one media system. But all you do is watch Netflix on your Xbox.
In order to say Xbox was right, they would have had to sell more money, or they would have had to make more money. Like I don't think.
See,
they were trying.
I disagree. I think.
Can I say one?
Yeah.
What I'm trying to say is they were trying to put all these different hands in all these baskets, and they weren't focusing on the games. And that's what.
Right.
I know you're saying the consoles are more than games to a degree, sure, but.
You're buying a console for the games.
90% of that is the game.
Right.
And like it's obviously amazing that I can watch Netflix on my Xbox and do all this stuff, and I can do that on my PlayStation, all that stuff.
Twitch, too. YouTube, all
that stuff's amazing. But at the end of the day, when I'm turning on my Xbox or my PlayStation, it's usually to play a video game. And if they're not giving me a good set of those games and something I want a reason to purchase that system, that's a big problem. And I think they are, at least Xbox is correcting on this generation in the way of they've bought all these different studios. They have these games in development. We're getting a new Fable.
They're paving
They're
the
listening.
road to make some like killer games,
and I think that they could.
And it sucks we don't get Infinite at launch. You know,
No, it does.
that
really
that to me was going to be a big
seller.
big boy. You know,
For sure.
but okay,
That's not till next year now, right?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think I don't think they said it's next year. Maybe they did.
I think they did.
Maybe they did.
But I could be wrong.
It would make sense if it was next year.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Maybe like Q4. You know, it'd be a great time for that game to come out. May, when nothing comes out.
Oh my God.
And then everyone's playing.
Well, we were
Halo.
supposed to have so many summer games this year. This was supposed to be like
this year
the fucking year of
what
years.
a shit show this turned out to be.
I mean,
it's
not.
And that's also why I'm upset. I think in the COVID times, like Sony just needs to like not be
Sony.
No, not be what's the word? Not be bad at communicating. In a world where every
everything's already
week something
shitty right
bad
now,
happens, like everyone's
So
having
true.
a bad year, whether it's coronavirus related or not. I'm having a bad year. This year has been like really shitty for me.
Yeah.
And like not even talking about the coronavirus stuff.
Just
Stuff that
it's just
work
everything's
has
fine,
been
yeah.
bad for me. Like personal stuff has kind of been shitty this year.
So
like,
this
it's
is
just been
another,
a shitty fucking
This is
year.
another
Sony, just
thing
make
on the
my
back,
life
yeah.
a little bit more fucking better. Like just fucking do that.
Yeah,
all right?
like
Can
that'd
you
be
do
very
it?
helpful.
Can you do it, Jim?
No, it's
Huh?
come on, man.
All right.
But no, yeah, I do think that was a big misstep on them, and that really does upset me. But at the end of the day, I'm still going to pre-order a PlayStation 5 as soon as it's available.
Let's talk about Xbox Series S and X. So, for those who are confused, I don't think it's that confusing, but I'm me.
Do it.
Xbox Series S is your affordable price model at $399. So you're sorry,
no,
$299.
$299, yeah.
Sorry. See, I'm getting confused. So I'm trying to look cool right now and know what I'm talking about. But yeah, your Series X is your $299 console. It's not
Series S. You said Series S.
See, I'm all over the place.
Okay.
I'm trying to talk
So
fast.
the Series S is the lower powered console.
Thank you, Trio.
Yeah. Which is at $300,
Right.
$299.
Right.
And then we got the Series X, which is the higher tiered, higher powered. It's got all the goodies, 4K, 60 frames per second, all your juicy visuals and that's $500, right?
Correct.
Okay. So what is I know obviously the Series S doesn't have a disc.
Correct. Your Series S is a digital only console. No discs.
But it does. It can obviously handle all the next generation games, but it's not the same. It's not on the same level as the X.
Correct.
Processing wise and stuff like that.
I have the power, like the graphics
nitty-gritty.
card, the CPU, the flops, all that shit up right now. And it's not like a terribly different. Like it's like the CPU is like just a little bit worse on the X, and like same with everything else. Like
on the S, yeah.
The GPU power on the Series X is 12.15 teraflops, while the Xbox Series S is 4.
Oh my God! Look at all those teraflops.
You know, I don't really know what a teraflop is.
Yeah, what the fuck
Nobody
is a
knows
teraflop?
what a teraflop is. We talk about it. Like
And
we
don't
know.
try to send
about.
us a message about what a teraflop is. We won't accept that it's true.
Like, yeah, maybe you can email us at delconerds@gmail.com.
And then I will berate you with an email back.
Xbox Series X is your 4K gaming machine. The Series S is not 4K. So if you don't have a 4K TV and don't plan on getting one, I wouldn't get a Series X.
Yeah.
Get the Series X. You're getting a 14.
Especially if you don't care about like
console.
digital. I mean, that's the thing. You can't get physical games anymore if you do get that Series S. But
Right.
that's the trade-off you're making. And like
4K TV is another investment. I have a
sure.
4K TV. There's no point of me getting the S. Plus, I like physical media.
Yeah.
So, right, you're playing your games at 1440p at 60 frames per second, and it can also go up to 120, whereas just the X is 4K with the same stuff, 60 to 120 frames per second.
lots more pixels and such, right?
Right, yeah, and there's other stuff. It's just like the storage are the same. 1 terabyte, which is good compared to, I think that was 500 at launch. And now in the age of everyone has an external on their Xbox and their PlayStation, I think I know Xbox is making like their own official storage
unit
thing, which is like, okay, that's cool, that's fine.
I should still be able to. I wonder. Should still be able to use my other one, but I assume all my Xbox stuff.
You'd have to probably reformat it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, hey. If you don't have the money this year, if Corona kind of hits you hard and you lost your job,
Yeah, I mean,
like, okay.
$300 for a brand new like system that will play all the AAA games that you want to play. That's pretty fucking good.
Right.
That's really good.
And if you wanna go next gen, but you can't afford the next gen, and you don't have a 4K TV, there is an option for you.
So for PlayStation, the only difference between their digital and physical one is that
Correct.
they don't have
So,
a disc.
for
Like
the
they are literally the exact same specs.
For the
besides.
PlayStation 5, we have the PlayStation 5.
Discless or
the standard PlayStation 5, which comes with a disc drive at $499, same price as the Series X. Then you have the downgrade version, which is the digital edition, same thing you're getting with the PlayStation 5, but it doesn't have a disc drive. It is only digital, and it is $399. So it's $100 price difference. And I think even though the Xbox is like, okay, well, like it's not as good as the PlayStation 5, but it also makes the next gen more affordable.
No, I think so too.
I think like if you're
most
gonna buy a
people aren't gonna be
PlayStation,
that, yeah.
don't get the digital edition. I don't see a reason why.
You mean don't get the physical edition?
No, get the physical edition.
Oh, really? Why is that?
Because it's only $100 more, and you're getting a disc drive.
See, I guess for me, like, I'm gonna get the digital just because I there's nothing like. I'm more married to my physical stuff on Xbox.
Actually, I take that back. I got confused. What did I say? What was my point?
if you are just like kind of an everyday game, like a regular old gamer that doesn't feel like they need that disc tray, that is the only difference. It's $100 difference.
Right. Okay.
If you would like to pay the $100, you can use your physical media on it, which is cool.
Right, but you're still shelling out like a decent amount of money.
For sure.
Whereas like, okay, like now you're $200 down, you can get the Series S going next gen. But you're still at a disadvantage, but you still are getting next gen. But you are spending less money because, like, money is sometimes all it's about for some people.
And again, like
like how much money am I going to
for the Series S? Like, you're just not going to get that insane quality that most people don't even notice. To be honest, like, it looks amazing. Like, I played my Xbox One, my regular one, on my brother's 4K TV. It still looks insane. Like, unless you're, like, someone who is really paying hardcore attention to this, that type of detail and, like, the frame rate and all that jazz, like the 4K shit, I don't see the need for you to get that Series X. Or but then again, if you do want that physical media tray, you are paying an extra $200 for that.
And
more power, obviously.
They are coming out the same week. Xbox is the 10th. PlayStation is the 12th. That's interesting. It's going to be a fucking expensive week.
Yeah.
But... okay, guys. Well, I hear what you're saying, but what games are on these systems? Well,
not a ton for both. And like, I have some of the launch titles for Xbox. We have no like legit new first party exclusives. What you are getting is Assassin's Creed Valhalla, FIFA, Fortnite, Gears 5, which is an upgrade. Tactics is coming. Avengers. Watch Dogs, Legion, Yakuza Like a Dragon, like, okay. It doesn't have a great lineup. But, on the other hand, you look at PlayStation's lineup, and it may look better, but I don't really think it is. Here's why. Miles Morales, Spider-Man Miles Morales, I guess we'll call it a sequel to Spider-Man, is also on PlayStation 4. Yeah.
You don't need a next gen to get
it
that.
is?
Which is weird, right? They're all about this generation leap, and Miles Morales is not a next-gen exclusive
I thought
title.
they said that was when they announced it.
No, it is for PS4, too.
All right, well, yeah, why am I getting a PlayStation 5? To be honest, like, the more I think about it, the more I am truly, like, I might just wait till next year. Like, because I just don't, like, I can spend the money right now, and if anything, I'd only get one of them at the moment. Maybe I will get a Series X. But like right now, I'm not sitting here.
I'm gonna
like,
get them both anyway. I'm just gonna get them.
No,
especially with Xbox, because like, okay, like I can just play all the games I'm playing now on a next gen upgrade.
I agree with that one for sure. Whereas PlayStation right now to me is like, I'm more like, all right, maybe I'll just wait until I get a hard date on God of War and all these things.
So you got Astro's Playroom, Demon Souls, Destruction All Stars, Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales, and Sackboy: A Big Adventure.
Oh,
I will be getting Miles Morales. Oh, and then Godfall's in there too. That came later. Godfall is also coming out.
Is that on PlayStation 4 too?
No. I don't think
that's
so.
a PS5
That
exclusive.
is an exclusive. Okay. Demon Souls, which is priced at $70, which is a remaster of the original from PS3.
God, that game
I'm
looks
getting Demon Souls,
so insane.
Miles Morales, and Godfall are going to be the 3 games I'm getting at launch. But that's it. And like Demon Souls is a remaster, and it's $70, so take that for what it's worth. Miles Morales is like a half sequel to Spider-Man. So
Yeah,
like,
it seems
again,
like kind of a 1.5 from
Right.
and
then Godfall is actually the only like big next gen game.
Yeah, you know what Miles Morales kind of reminds me of, like almost like Brotherhood to Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean. But I am excited for that one though. Dude, I love his suit. Looks really good. I gotta say, that whole thing looks awesome.
But again, it's like our launch lineup for both systems isn't great.
But again, I don't think aren't launch lineups notoriously shitty usually?
Yeah.
Like for the most part.
And that's where I was saying if Xbox still had Infinite and Halo Infinite,
That would have been a system seller for me.
that would have fucking blew
I
the
would be like, yeah, I'm
socks
getting
off
it.
of Sony.
I'm getting it.
And it would have like they're really lucky because like not only did they like a lot of people play Halo for the campaign, sure, but like that is a strong multiplayer game. Again, a spot,
Community's insane.
a niche, a portion of gaming which Sony doesn't have a lot of first party exclusive in.
No.
Is multiplayer. They don't. So when Xbox comes out with Halo, like they're already at like a huge advantage. And like a lot of people are playing games to play multiplayer nowadays. So FPS fans might lean towards Xbox. So it's like, oh, Halo's gonna come off on it. I definitely want to be in for that. I'm gonna get a Series X at launch and be ready for it.
Yeah.
Like I think that's a totally like valid, and and you're gonna get Call of Duty Cold War, which is coming out on both. Like I think there's gonna be like an individual reason for everyone of like why they're doing what they're doing.
I think so
if they're
too.
gonna be picky, whereas I'm just getting both. So
I know that's fair. And I think
at launch.
Yeah. I mean,
because like I want to, my one thing about that is like I just want to like be in the
zeitgeist,
right,
right,
right as it happens.
I like it. Yeah, I don't know. Right now, I did that. I mean, I got PlayStation 4 at launch. Yeah, I don't know. I right now I might still pre-order
and I have
a PlayStation 5.
I have a PlayStation 5 pre-ordered. I think we mentioned that earlier.
When you pre-order the place, you have to pay half, right? Isn't it
No.
like two? Oh, really? It's not even okay.
Nope.
Then
there's that fear. It's like, oh well, are they gonna come late? And I'm like, dude, we're all in the same fucking boat. Like I don't know what to say.
Yeah, you gotta wait and see what happens.
Am I gonna try to get a physical copy at GameStop? I don't know, because I feel like GameStop probably won't get a lot of units.
Yeah, I don't know.
When you're talking about an individual store.
Yeah, and I'm curious how like if they have. I actually might call GameStop on the way back just to be like, do you guys have like, do they get different numbers of physical like in-person pre-orders versus online? Or I feel like all that's just linked. So if GameStop's out, then GameStop the store would be out too. I feel like the website. I'd assume.
It's a good question, actually. I'm not sure.
Yeah, like I don't know. So
I think so.
That's what I thought.
But I'm not sure about that. That's a good question.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see where it goes. Power-wise, I know the Xbox Series X is more powerful, right? Isn't like that's definitive?
Yes.
Yeah, like that big old refrigerator, which the design on that has grown on me.
I like them both, man.
I really don't.
We're
like
going vertical this year, baby.
I don't
know how I'm gonna get those things in there.
No, I mean you can lay them on their sides though.
But I don't want to do that.
That's fair. But I do not like the PlayStation 5 design at all. I don't know what they went if they went to fucking they watched iRobot the day that they were designing it, but like
USR shitting on the little guys.
I just I don't know.
I
mean I get the idea is that you want it to be attention grabbing, and if it's sitting on like your center console and everyone's like, ooh, what's that? It's like, ooh, that's my PlayStation 5. But I don't know. A little too overcomplicated for me. Again, that PlayStation 4 design, mwah, I love that. So it's simple, sleek,
you like my
good looking.
3-layer cake?
I don't like your 3-layer cake. I do not like the way it looks.
But you just said you liked it.
No, I was saying the original PlayStation 4 design.
All right, man. Like one go.
I like the 2-layer cakes.
I don't mind the Xbox One look.
Too big.
I love my touch button, which I think is leaving with the X.
I do like that. Yeah, it is a little satisfaction.
I mean, but like you can turn it on easy. That's this generation we're going to is weird and not weird at the same time.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like we got a lot of games like on the horizon. I'm trying to think of Horizon being one of them. Like a lot of games that like just aren't like are still like far away and like okay, we got the God of War kind of reveal. It's like where is that? And like that could like we saw nothing, which to me tells me it's far.
I'd say 2 years at the most.
And plus, everything got delayed because of Corona. Whether you know it or not, everything took a hit regarding Corona. So
I would guess 2021 or no, 2022. I'm sorry, for God of War.
Yeah, I would say the same. Maybe like maybe same time they did the first one. And then Xbox, Infinite's coming up, and then Fable, and there's a lot of shit on the horizon.
Who's working on Fable? What studio is it? Do we know?
Play something?
It's one of their new ones?
Yeah,
right?
it's not Lion's
Yeah.
Head. They're gone. No more Peter Molyneux, even though he's been gone for a while.
Anything else, Gooch? I'm trying to think.
That's really it. I think if there's any conversation left, it's pretty much where we are individually sitting on this next gen stuff, which we've talked about, and
so far I don't think you're missing anything out, or missing out on anything by not getting these consoles at launch this year. I get it if you're like Gooch and you kind of want to get them to have them, and you have the next thing, and I think that's valid as well. But so far, me as an avid gamer who's like all about it, I'm not enthralled yet to buy next generation. I will be once the games start coming out a little bit more. But as of this year, there's nothing, like you said, if Xbox had Infinite coming out on it, I would have bought my Series X.
Right.
I would have bought that this year.
And I think the only thing I really have to say is if you're playing games on Xbox already, you should just get a next gen upgrade. I don't see the reason why not, because I feel like PlayStation, or sorry, I'm getting confused on the vernacular here. Just talking way too fast and much. Xbox is letting you know that everything you're playing now and your Game Pass stuff is just going to carry over. Yeah. And I think that's something you really need to understand. Like you might as well just upgrade if you're thinking about doing it.
And then you got it. No, I think
why not play your games in better? Yeah. Why not? Like, you're already doing it.
Especially if you
That's the way I see it.
Yeah.
Especially if you're a Game Pass player. And now EA Access is going to be part of Game Pass, which is huge. That's fucking huge.
I didn't know that. That's pretty nuts.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, I think, let me, real quick.
Yeah, they're making moves on that stuff.
It's called Xbox All Access. I'm going to read what that is real fast. I think it is, it's coming. It's loading. Trio, buy some time.
But yeah, anyways, PlayStation 5, burn them all to the ground. PlayStation, you suck. No, I'm kidding.
Okay.
You guys make great games.
So, Xbox All Access, your all-inclusive Xbox pass to Xbox. Get an Xbox Series X or Series S console plus 24 months of Game Pass Ultimate for $24.99 a month. So this is the renting thing. For 24 months. So you're paying $25 for $24.99 for 24 months. No upfront costs. Xbox All Access has all Game Pass, Xbox Live, and then the new EA Access thing. So that is something to think about.
Do they have a payment plan? But can you do that and buy it?
Yeah, that's what you're paying it off.
Oh,
so it's like you're paying off a phone.
Yeah.
And then you get access to Game Pass on top of it.
That actually sounds like an insane deal that I might do. Like $24 a month? Like
$25 a month for 24 months gets you an X or an S and 24 months of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, which is live
that gets you a
and Game
Series
Pass.
X
Or an S, whichever.
I'm doing that. Like, there's no point. Like, that is not even like.
This is why I think Xbox is better than Sony. That right there. That is such a they're giving you another reason to get an Xbox and do it on your dime.
Send me that link when you can. But
send me the fucking link.
Send me it right now. But that's amazing. Like, I don't have to pay $500 up front. Like, I can just pay $25 for 24 months, and I assume I could pay that off probably whenever I wanted.
I don't know.
Say I did. I'm gonna look into that.
There's a more info thing. Yeah. So you get that library, EA Play, all your games that are day one Xbox exclusive are on Game Pass. So you have Halo Infinite when it comes out.
Yeah, that's nice.
Like, Xbox Game Pass is a fucking deal and a half, and All Access is a awesome way.
Didn't PlayStation say they were like, oh, we don't see ourselves releasing first-party games because it's not sustainable or something?
No,
like
they were talking about how they Jim Ryan came out and how they don't focus on their library, and I'm like, what are you fucking talking about?
Yeah, that's dumb.
Didn't you just release a thing that you're focusing on your library from PS4 to PS5, where they're Sony's messaging just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, really.
In the end of the day, I feel like they know what they're talking about, but they don't really know how to talk about it sometimes.
Jeez. All right. Well,
next generation, guys, it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, it is
for sure.
Curious to see where it goes. But I think that does it for us here today. Thank you all for watching live on twitch.tv/Delco Nerd Network. We very much appreciate it. You can find this podcast everywhere podcasts can be found. Just search Delco Nerd Network. We'll pop right up. We're also on all the socials at Delco Nerds on everything. On Facebook, you can just search our name. We will pop right up.
Yeah, guys, even if you don't listen on Spotify or you don't listen on whatever app, follow us on there. It does help. If you're on
definitely.
iTunes, leave us a review. I think that's the only app with reviews.
For
but
sure.
like if you have other apps that listen to podcasts, just follow us because that does kind of help.
Yeah, for definitely. And
sure.
if you guys want to send us any emails, talk about something, our email is delconerds@gmail.com, right?
Yes, if you guys have any topic ideas, like we're kind of some months we do kind of like what the fuck are we
we're
doing
like sitting
this
there like,
month?
what are
We haven't been in that in a while, but we actually got a topic submission from somebody, and we were like, oh, okay, this is a pretty good idea.
I think it's
so yeah, let us know. Maybe if you're interested in coming on, you can come on for it. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows?
Maybe
Yeah,
if
we
you
can
just want us to talk about it, that's fine too. But yeah, delconerds@gmail.com trio.
Hopefully we'll hear from you soon. For Gooch, I've been Trio. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay nerdy, and we will see you next